Hello, my dear friends. I believe some of you might be able to hear me and see me during this live session. And if you will be able to hear me and see me, just simply mention below the comments like my voice is coming, like am I audible to you? We will wait for few minutes and then we will today going to be discussing the most important transit of Saturn that is going to be happening next year from June 2027 till November 2029. So basically we are going to be covering all the important aspects. Okay, Sandeep PK said hi. So will you be able to hear me properly? Like, am I completely audible to you? My audio video is clear? Okay, more people are joining. So let us wait for a few seconds actually. Yes. Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, okay. Yes, Nikhil, yes, hello sir, hello. Thank you so much for joining this live session. And once again, thank you so much. So today we are going to be first of all discussing with regards to one of the most important transit that is going to be taking place next year on June 2027 till November 2029, and this is going to be the Saturn transit in the sign of Aries. So first of all, I'm going to be discussing here all the important events that will trigger specifically in the Saturn transit in the sign of Aries, the things and the major events, worldly events that are going to be associated with cause of this transit. And we will also going to deeply dive into the Gen Z people. So because they are going to be heading towards their first Saturn return. So this is going to be a very big event and big shift which is going to be happening in the life of many Gen Zs. And then lastly, we will try to summarize by looking into all the 12 zodiac signs actually. So this is going to be quite a long video. I recommend you to please bear with me, try to be patient, and you can share your feedback also. I might not be able to respond to all the comments during this session because it's going to be a very thorough analysis. I have prepared this for past 15-20 days, so there are going to be many important things that are going to be discussing during this session. So first of all, I'm going to be talking with regards to the major shifts which are going to be happening when the Saturn is going to be transiting in the sign of Aries. Now, the very first thing you need to understand here, the sign of Aries, it's a very repulsive zodiac sign in Vedic astrology. And this is the zodiac sign which is ruled by planet Mars, and Mars is a very fast moving planet in Vedic astrology, whereas planet Saturn is a very slow moving planet in Vedic astrology. And that is where the very first major challenge that you are going to be seeing during this transit is with regards to the push and pull factor, and basically the impulsiveness is going to be pretty high inside general people actually. And the very best way to actually handle this transit in the sign of Aries is to have a lot of patience inside you. Because understand one thing here, Mars is a very action oriented graha, and Mars want to accomplish 10-day activity in a single day, whereas Saturn is not easily going to give you permission to do that kind of a thing. So here patience is going to be playing a very important role here. Second, there are going to be many structural reforms which are going to be taking place in the next 2.5 to 3 years time frame, and I'm talking about globally. Now, structural reform is a pretty big word in Vedic astrology also. And structural reforms are going to be connected with governments also, institutions also. Even judiciary is also going to be a part of this structural reform. There are going to be many new innovations that are going to be triggering during this time frame. Because if you just try to remember the last time when Saturn was in the sign of Aries between 1997, 98 and 1999, so during that time frame, eventually the internet have came into picture. So everyone that around that time frame, they would be able to familiarized during all these kind of a thing. So internet have eventually created a very global level of connectivity. Similarly, Saturn transit in the sign of Aries with its third aspect is aspecting the sign of Gemini here. And Gemini is an air element which represents a very vast connectivity and networking part actually. And that is where you will eventually see there are going to be many new networking sites and many new networks that are going to be created somewhat around 2028 and 29 time frame. And these networks will further going to help you in the evolution. Human evolution is going to be taking place specifically because of this thing. Secondly, this is going to be a very beneficial transit specifically from the business standpoint of view, because here Saturn is actually looking with its seventh aspect in the sign of Libra, and Libra is basically the zodiac sign which is ruled by Venus, and Saturn is actually looking at the exaltation zodiac sign, and Libra represents particularly the trade networks. Now I will tell you, whenever Saturn goes into the sign of Aries, all the trade barriers, okay, all the trade barriers, they are automatically getting nullified here, because Saturn particularly whenever respecting Libra is an air element, Gemini is again an air element. So here what is happening, the two air elements are going to be fully activated here, and the core significance of the air represents movement, flexibility, adaptability also, and that is where you will see there is going to be a lot of flexibility, adaptability around the global institutions that are going to be happening around this time phase. And last is the sign of Capricorn. It's going to be a bit structured aspect, because Capricorn is a earth element, and that is where the hardworking individuals, they are going to be reaping out the great benefit. So suppose you are working hard from past 2, 3, 5 or even 10 years and you are not receiving any results actually. Basically the transit in the sign of Aries is going to be removing the blockages from your own life. So this actually have the capacity to create the removal of mental blockages. So suppose you are feeling mentally restricted in any environment, maybe in your career, business, relationship environment at the same time. So all these mental blockages are actually going to be somewhat getting removed, because Saturn in the sign of Aries is also going to be permitting a global expansion and growth at the same time. So here you are going to be witnessing a major global growth that is also going to be taking place in this time frame. I would also like to add one main important point here. Basically, the sign of Aries in Vedic astrology is the representation of the entrepreneurship and true entrepreneurial spirit. And that is where I will tell you, now a time specifically in the job market, because of the new technologies that are coming, AI, robotics, different kind of geopolitical situations that are happening all across the globe actually. What have happened actually, it have created a lot of difficulty in the job market. Creation of new jobs and sustenance of new jobs are going to be getting deeply impacted because of this particular thing. Now the Aries is an entrepreneurial zodiac sign, and that is where the major shift, this mental shift is going to be happening, where I will tell you it's going to be becoming a need for every individual to choose entrepreneurship. Like it's becoming a necessity. Just like you are thinking job is a need in order for me to survive myself, in order to feed my family, in the similar manner in this Aries, entrepreneurship is going to be becoming a need of an hour actually. And that is where you will also see the major reforms happening around the educational aspect at the same time. Your college degrees, maybe bachelor's degree, master's, MBA, postgraduate, undergraduate degrees also. So these degrees are no longer going to be holding any significance here. Okay, I'm not saying here complete education is going to be becoming wastage, but Saturn in the Aries is becoming a very practically oriented graha. So here I will tell you, the more practical knowledge one person is going to be having, the more this is going to be beneficial for them. Aries is also zodiac sign which represent the blue collar activity. Basically you look at the plumbers also, the people who are in the field of construction, doing the construction related activities, any sort of blue collar activity where you are exerting your own pressure. So you will see a great shift of the major population from the IT services, consulting services towards the manufacturing activities. Aries, particularly Mars, whenever is infused with Saturn or Saturn infused with the energy of Mars, it's going to be creating a strong push specifically in the manufacturing domain. So here I will tell you, manufacturing sector is going to be receiving a great advantage specifically from 2027 till 2029. And manufacturing is going to be creating a lot of revolution. Now here I'm not saying manufacturing is going to be happening just from the mundane level. Manufacturing is going to be happening maybe with the help of robotics, machine learning, and these parts also, because technological aspect is going to be 100% there. If there are the sign of Gemini is particularly the more of a Rahuish kind of a energy. Okay, Gemini is more of a, Mercury is just like a Rahu. Okay, it's like Mercury is a child, so consider Rahu is also like that child actually. So Saturn, whenever is actually aspecting the Gemini, it's going to be a technological shift, which are going to be specifically happening around this time frame. Overall, I will tell you, I will not here like to comment whether it's going to be a highly positive or it's going to be a negative transit. But every approximately 28-29 years, Saturn once again goes into the sign of Aries actually. And if you go back around the year 1996, 1997 and the year 1999 specifically, so all the Gen Z population, first of all, I would like to heartily congratulate all the Gen Zs also out there who are watching this video, because right now what is happening, you are hitting your first Saturn return. And Saturn return is going to be considered as one of the most remarkable events in any person's life, because this is the first time where you are going to be heading towards the reality check. Reality check, suppose from past 28 or 27 years, you are living in a daydreaming kind of a realm. Now Saturn transit over this natal Saturn actually, and the people born in their natal chart with Saturn in Aries, it's first of all going to be taking a strong test of your patience. And patience is the key to success whenever it's in the sign of Aries. Secondly, as I told you, it's also going to be removing the blockages. So there is no need for you to become more worried about like Saturn in the Aries becoming debilitated is going to be creating a lot of problem now. It's a very solution oriented graha. Mars is also very action oriented kind of a mentality and very like agile mindset. Like if something is not working, let me throw that part away and let me work over new things. So suppose from past 2, 3, 5 years we are working over one thing and that part is not working. So it's better for you to leave that part behind and focus more over your own positive points. This is also the very best way to achieve success, happiness and growth actually. Because if you are going to be continuously focusing over the things which are not working and you are like working towards accomplishing the perfection in that particular areas in which you are not good at, so you are not going to be here receiving any positive benefit out of that part. And that is where it's going to be very beneficial if you focused over the core strength actually. Working upon your own strength will eventually going to help you a lot in this particular area. Secondly, this transit specifically for Gen Z people, this is going to be a very correct time frame or exact time frame, I will say, where it's beneficial if you will be, rather than looking for job opportunities in the market, to work more upon yourself and create a more independent pathway. Aries is a very masculine zodiac sign, okay? Mars represents the full level of masculinity which is going to be present inside any person, and Aries is also a very risk oriented kind of a mentality. So here I will tell you, more the risk, the more benefits you are going to be reaping out in the upcoming future, because after Aries it will transit into Taurus. So the efforts that you put forward in Aries, you are going to be reaping out strong results in the Taurus also. That is going to be a major financial shift when Saturn will enter into the Taurus zodiac sign. But this is the time frame where, rather than looking for job opportunities, focus over the creation here and focus over becoming more and more independent rather than seeking the job opportunities. Because even if you land into the job opportunity, what will happen, Saturn with its 10th aspect is aspecting the Capricorn energy. Capricorn is originally the 10th house. This is the house of your karmas, okay? The kind of amount of energy, efforts that you are investing at some place. So first of all, it's no longer going to be creating any stability in the job market because of the Saturn third transit in the Gemini. Whenever I will tell you, it's a thumb rule, keep this point in your mind. If you are a Jyotish lover, whenever Saturn transit in the Agni zodiac sign, Agni mean fire, or looking at the 2 air zodiac signs on the simultaneous basis, it's going to be creating major instability in the job environment. It's not going to be a problem, it's going to be a company organizational level problem actually, because Capricorn is going to be built over systems, like hierarchy level of the organizations are going to be built according to that part. Like suppose the hierarchy is going to be constructed in a way where there are going to be supervisors, assistant managers, general managers, CTO, vice presidents also. So that structural shift or the structural reform which I'm talking about, you are going to be witnessing in the career environments at the same time. Where I will tell you, there is, suppose the previous structure of like going up the hierarchy level is going to be there. Here that most of the companies, this hierarchy level is going to be getting collapsing up to very large extent. So where there are going to be multiple managers positioned in any organization looking for different amount of activity. So basically the upper level and the authority level people are going to be getting replaced here. Whereas the below level people that are going to be working in the very mundane and very below level, they are not going to be getting replaced because of that thing. Because collapsing of any structural is going to be happening from the top. It's not going to be going from bottom to top. Okay, it's going to be, always keep this point in your mind, whenever any major collapse happen, it will happen from the top level to the down level. In this way that collapse is going to be indicated. Capricorn is also going to be actually ruling the government. So I will not go much into the political aspects here, but you will see the major collapsing factor in the governments are also going to be indicated in the Capricorn energy. Because what is going to be happening here, Saturn sitting in Aries is also going to be impacting the trine houses. Okay, trine houses mean the sign of Leo is going to be getting deeply impacted. Sagittarius is going to be getting completely impacted because it's forming a trine up there. Okay, right now we are not discussing over aspects here. I'm talking about planets that are sitting in the trine to the Saturn. They are also going to be getting impacted, and the zodiac signs that are also going to be sitting in trine, they are also going to be getting deeply impacted. So the sign of Leo is basically, it's a political zodiac sign which is ruled by Surya. So the collapsing of the government from the top to bottom is going to be indicated in the sign of Aries. I don't know, many of you will be able to remember in the specifically during the World War II. So around that time frame, also specifically around Hitler time frame, Saturn is around the Aries actually. Aries and Taurus Gandanta. So this is going to be a major top to bottom structural collapse that is going to be witnessing specifically in this transit. Okay. Now let me actually come towards all the 12 zodiac signs, and we are going to be starting from Aries to all the way to the Pisces, and I'm going to be discussing the major events that are going to be happening in the Saturn transit in the sign of Aries. Now I request you to please bear with me, have little patience, because it's going to take some time to cover up all the 12 ascendants, and I request you to try to study the impact of Saturn transit through the ascendant and moon chart both on the simultaneous basis. Once again, I repeat, I'm not going to be repeating anywhere in between. So if you are listening, keep this point in your mind. It's important for you to study the transit of Saturn and its impact from your ascendant, that is your Lagna, and from the moon sign at the same time. This will going to help you a lot in funneling down to the more minor level. From the ascendant, you can relate more physical manifestation of results that are going to be taking place. And from moon sign, the mental impacts or the mental boundaries that are going to be getting removed. So you are going to be relating both of these things during these predictions. So let's start with the Aries. Now for Aries zodiac sign, Saturn is actually going to be coming in the Lagna. And that is where a lot of slowness in the personal life is going to be indicated for you people. Secondly, it's also very, very important for you to cultivate the important lessons of patience inside you, because what is going to be happening here, results are not going to be coming very easily whenever Saturn in the sign of Aries. It's like that you are trying again and again, again and again, again and again, working over same thing again and again, again and again, again and again. So the same phenomena is going to be happening specifically in the sign of Aries. Secondly, the main positive factor for the Aries ascendant, Saturn is gaining control over the 10th house and the 11th house. So the next 2.5 to 3 years long period, June 2027 till November 2029, this period is going to be a very remarkable period from the career standpoint of view. Even from the monetary standpoint of view, this period actually have the capacity to bring a lot of major benefits into your own life. I even request you one very important thing. Here Saturn will going to test your patience to the last limit. So if in between the complete process, if you are thinking about like I'm going to be quitting in between, it's better for you to wait patiently. Okay, if you are going to be quitting, it maybe you are at 99% and just 1% left. So I will tell you all your efforts are going to be then going to win. So it's better for you to wait patiently for the results. Along with this thing, Saturn is also aspecting your third house. There are going to be numerous amount of short distance traveling and opportunities. This Saturn is going to be bringing into your own life. This is also going to be the best time frame in order for you to enroll into the new technological segment actually. Even learning all the new technologies, gaining hands-over experience in the new technologies related to robotics, machine learning, AI also, that is actually going to be helping you in building the fundamental block for the next 30 years of your own life. So this is actually going to be a major remarkable shift. Apart from this thing, it's also aspecting the Libra, that is your 7th house. So if you are around the age of marriage, opportunities will definitely going to be there. Okay, and there is nothing like that Saturn aspecting the 7th house is going to be creating delay marriage. No, it's not going to be applicable when Saturn in the sign of Aries. Because understand one thing here, whenever planet is exalted or it's debilitated, this planet is operating at its fullest potential, highest potential. The only difference between the exaltation and the debilitation tend to give results more easily as compared to exaltation. Okay, exaltation will wait, okay, until and unless this person is not ready, I will not hand over the major results to this person. Whereas Saturn in the Aries is not going to be thinking and operating in that way. Here results are going to be coming automatically, but it's going to be up to you whether you have the capability and capacity to handle that particular results into your life or not actually. And that is the reason I told you, this is the building block actually. Saturn in the Lagna is going to be, it's like you are carving your own personality. You are working more upon yourself rather than working over any other area actually. Okay, I even request you one thing here. It's important to have money in your life because it's gaining control over the both Capricorn and the Aquarius actually. But it's better to have the knowledge at the same time, because I will tell you, if money is going to be exceeding knowledge, it is going to be becoming a more difficult placement then. But if your wisdom is also rising along with that monetary aspect is also rising, only then you will be able to hand over this part into the much positive manner. Lastly, it's also aspecting the sign of Capricorn, that is the actual career realm. And that is where the structural reform, which I told you initially, is going to be witnessing at that place. If, for example, in your natal chart, your 5th house and 9th house lords are going to be very, very supportive, then there are going to be chances of promotion at the same time because of the top level that are going to be getting removed, and then you are going to be further promoted to the higher level. So that is going to be a possibility because of this Saturn. Okay. Next, let's try to discuss Saturn transit for the Taurus ascendant or even from the Taurus moon sign. I recommend you to read it from both here. Now for Taurus people, Saturn is actually going in the 12th house, and that is where legal disputes are going to be happening specifically for you people. If you are going to be in the legal disputes, or if you are thinking about we are going to be getting out of that legal dispute, it's better for you to go with compromise-based settlement rather than going with the exact court cases, because Aries Saturn debilitation in the 12th, it's not good. Secondly, it's also going to be a pretty challenging placement between the relationship aspect between you and your mother at the same time. Mother emotional health is also going to be getting degraded, particularly whenever Saturn goes into the 12th house. Apart from this thing, Saturn is also aspecting the sign of Gemini, which is now particularly falling in the second house. Now what is happening from the expense house, Saturn is looking into the savings house. So it will going to create a lot of difficulty at the time of you being saving money. So saving is going to be becoming a bit challenging. But Saturn in the 12th house is a good placement from the investment standpoint of view. So exploring the more investment related opportunities are going to be more favorable as compared to any other thing. Secondly, if you are waiting for your permanent residency, green card, or these kind of a thing, Saturn now gaining control over the 9th and the 10th. It's actually sitting in the 12th. So 12th house, Saturn is going to be creating a fixation. By mean to say fixation, it's like some drid karma which you need to be fulfilling by staying into the foreign land and foreign country. So if at some point you are thinking about maybe relocating or moving back to your home country, that possibility will not going to be happening. Because Saturn particularly in the 12th will going to force you. 12th house, I told you, it's more of a fixated kind of a Shani. Fixated means it's going to be fixing something for you. So here I will tell you it's going to be becoming bit difficult. That is the reason whenever Saturn in the 12th is also aspecting the 6th house. 6th house is the routine actually. It's your day-to-day activity. The kind of activities which you are performing on the daily basis. And what is going to be your daily routines that are going to be monitored with the help of 6th. Now whenever Saturn aspecting the 6th, it's actually asking you to become more disciplined. Or put more discipline in that activity. And that is where the sign of Aries, it's ruled by Mars actually. So Mars will always try its hard to actually let me break that foundations and came free out of that part. Because Saturn's 10th aspect is falling over your 9th house actually. 9th house is the core belief system of the people. So that core belief systems are going to be getting changed because of this placement. Apart from this thing, you also need to be very secretive in your own life, because 6th house is the house of your hidden enemies at the same time. Okay, so you also need to be very, very careful with your enemies. And the very best way to be very careful with your enemies is to try to operate more in the secrecy. If you are going to be operating more in the secrecy, the more Saturn actually have the capacity to create more wonderful results into your own life. Second important point, 9th house lord, which is going into the 12th house, it's also going to be bringing the relationship opportunities into your own life, specifically from the relationship and the marriage standpoint of view. Along with 7th house, you also need to discuss or take into consideration your 9th house at the same time, because 9th house is the house of fortune, basically your luck factor. So this luck factor going in the 12th also shows there are going to be new chances or new opportunities of relationships that are going to be coming into your own life. Here, traveling is also going to help you a lot in order to entertain that traveling related the relationship related opportunities, even the business related opportunities. Selling of old business and buying a new business is also going to be indicated, because 12th house Saturn will represent there are going to be some major amount of financial transactions, major financial transactions that are going to be taking place. So that part you can also take into your own consideration. Okay, and for Taurus, I will tell you this graha is also acting as a Yog Karak graha. Yog Karak graha means it's going to be full of auspiciousness for Taurus and even for Libra also. So some auspiciousness in the 12th house is also going to be indicated. You just need to be very careful with the emotional health here. Okay, because that is going to be becoming a more challenging placement in that particular area. Next, for the Gemini ascendant or Gemini moon placement people, for you people specifically, Saturn is going to be transiting through your 11th house, and that is the Upachya house in Vedic astrology. Malefics in the Upachya, they tend to grow much better with the passage of time. This is the period where you are going to be actually receiving the optimal results of your hard work. And here I'm going to be speaking in contrast to the monetary benefits here. This is also the time frame where I will tell you all your hopes, wishes and desires, they are not getting delayed here, they are also going to be getting fulfilled. Because I will tell you, Aries is a very fast movement. Saturn in the Aries automatically tend to deliver its results. It's no longer like I will delay everything. Saturn delay everything when it's very powerful. If it is in the sign of Aquarius, Saturn in Aries is not so significant of delayed actually. So it's not going to be creating much delays into your own life. It's actually going to be that kind of a favorable placement where results are actually going to be happening into your own life. So here your hopes, wishes and desires, they are automatically going to be met and they are going to be fulfilled. This is also affecting your Lagna. Lagna is you. So this is also the best time frame where you need to actually work upon yourself in order to improve yourself. Change your belief system. Remove the old you and bring the new you in the market. By mean to say removing the old you, it's like basically shattering or breaking apart the old belief systems or the kind of mindset and mentality where you have actually gripped your mind in it. So it's better for you to remove that grip actually and then going to move into the forward manner, because this is the only placement where I will tell you it's going to be creating a direct 7th aspect over the 5th house, which is the house of entrepreneurship. And Aries is also a zodiac sign of entrepreneurship. For Gemini people, you will be see most of the people that are going to be walking away from the job market and they are going to be building or starting something of their own. And this is going to be the exact time frame. Because what is going to be happening here, Saturn is also aspecting your 8th house actually. 8th house is the house of sudden transformations, major transformative events that are going to be taking place. Irrespective of which age you are going to be in, Saturn for Gemini people in Aries is going to be opening up all the blocked channels and pathways. So this will eventually going to help you to prosper further into the much better way. Secondly, this will also help you to resolve all the litigations if that are going in your life, or this have the capacity to actually going to create the end of the litigations from that point of view. Even if you are looking for obtaining a childbirth, this period is going to be blessing you with the children. Initial delays are going to be indicated, but Saturn is a surety in Vedic astrology. In whichever houses Saturn is posited aspecting one particular house, so it means 100% surely you are going to be receiving the benefits of that particular area. The one thing you need to be extra cautious actually, specifically Gemini people, is to please don't go by greed, okay? Don't go or fell into the trap of greed. Greediness is becoming very deadly because Saturn in the Aries. Because I will tell you, otherwise I have seen many times for Gemini, Saturn debilitation can create a debt trap in front of you people. Because here this is also the combination of easy money, making easy money. Saturn in Aries is not going to be becoming much hardworking here. Saturn is going to be becoming more of a planet that will going to be sitting in the back actually, and let the things that are going to be dictating by their own speed actually, because the tug of war between this Mars and Shani is going to be there, so that energy is going to be there. So you need to also gain control over the greed and the lust factor. These two factors, if you are going to be gaining control over, this have the capacity to create a lot of positive transformations into your own life. Next, for Cancer ascendant people or from Cancer moon zodiac sign, Saturn in your astrological chart particularly is going to be transiting through the 10th house of the career. Now, if you are waiting for job change, this is going to be the best time frame. This is also going to be the time frame where there are going to be lot of major changes in the workplace. That is also going to be happening in this time frame. Apart from this thing, whenever Saturn goes into 10th house, this is originally the Capricorn energy, the own house of the Saturn. But here Saturn, whenever goes into the sign of Aries, it's not going to be its own zodiac sign, and it's not even in a friendly zodiac sign. So here you also need to be very, very careful with regards to any trap. By mean to say trap actually, that organizations are going to be creating some comfort zone, because it's aspecting the 4th house also. So it may be like your current organization might going to be offering you some place to stay, some extra incentives also, so that they want to retain you here. Because Saturn, the 10th house in Aries, means the individual is in a great demand in the market. So here I will also request you one thing, don't fall into the trap of the Libra. Because here I will tell you the comfort zone actually have the capacity to restrict your further growth. Saturn, if you look, it's also aspecting the sign of Gemini, which is posited into the 12th house, and 12th house where the sign of Gemini is going to be posited. So this is actually the time frame where you need to make a move or create some sort of movement rather than just sticking with one particular thing. I even request you, Cancer people, if for example from past 5, 6, 10 years you are working over something and that part is not working, this is the best time frame in order for you to get rid of that thing. Rather than just focusing over your negative points and then working hard towards perfecting that thing, it's much better for you to work over your positive points and then create some major benefit out of that part. This is also going to be the time frame where Saturn is aspecting the 10th house. So it's also going to be unlocking the relationship opportunities into your own life. At the same time, along with the relationship opportunities, this Saturn particularly in the Capricornian energy will also going to be bringing new business related opportunities into your own life. And these are going to be the business related opportunity that actually have the capacity to create a strong foundation for next 20 to 30 years of your own life. Because what is happening here, in your 7th house, it's the own sign of Capricorn. And Saturn is again sitting in the 10th house, that is the own sign of the Saturn here actually. So Saturn here is going to be dealing and encountering the 10th house and the 7th house on the simultaneous basis. And at the same time, 2 air elements are also going to be activated. So this period is going to be creating many new business related opportunity. Technological advancements can also be indicated because of this placement. Apart from this thing, some friction with the top bosses, that is also going to be there. Friction, it's like that Saturn in the 10th don't want to work under pressure. Or if suppose you have worked from past many years under some pressure, or you have received a lot of suppression factor in your career and the job environment, Saturn in the 10th will no longer going to take that suppression upon to itself. And that is where the impulsive decision making, which I discussed initially also. It's very important for you to please listen the initial introduction till 18 to 19 minutes. This will help you to gain more clear understanding. I request you, okay? So this in the 10th house, it's going to be a more of a impulsive decision making. Impulsive means sudden decisions that are going to be made out of that part. And that is where sometime later they might going to be regretting for not making the decisions. Making decision will not going to create further regrets actually. Because once you make the decision, what will happen? Either you are going to fail or you are going to succeed. But the more regret will come if you will not be able to make any decisions in this time frame. So making a constructive decision is going to be a very good thing. Even if you are looking for major restructuring in the assets, land, real estate and property, this Aries transit will help you to sell some of the previous properties, club the money and then put into some big portfolios. So that is going to be purely indicated because of this Saturn. Next, for the Leo ascendant and Leo moon zodiac sign, for you people specifically, Saturn is going to be going in the sign of Aries into the 9th house actually. And that is where the major shift in the belief systems are going to be taking place. This placement is also going to be creating a lot of contradiction between you and your previous belief systems. It may be the previous belief systems which have like embedded inside you because of your own family, because of your own relatives at the same time. So Saturn in the Aries is no longer going to be accepting any such belief systems here. This placement, irrespective, is also going to be capable enough to trigger the event of marriage. If you are a Leo ascendant, Saturn transit next year, beginning June 2027, okay, because the Saturn is becoming extremely powerful in the Gandanta. Gandanta mean at the crossing point actually. So this crossing point actually have the capacity to help you in creating the manifestations of good relationship related opportunities. Malefics in the 9th and benefics in the 9th, they have the capacity to activate your Bhagya. And in your case specifically, if you look, Saturn is gaining control over the 7th. So marriage house going into the 9th represent the event of marriage is going to be treating. This is also going to be a good placement if you are looking for opportunities abroad, outside of your home country. So that is going to be the very best time frame. If you are into the field of a law, anything you are dealing with the legal advisory or consulting related activity, this placement actually have the capacity to create a lot of stable position or lot of goodwill actually in the marketplace. Because Saturn in the ninth, even if it is debilitated, it's going to be behaving more in a neutral manner. I mean to say neutral manner, like it's not going to be creating much negative or much positive impact. So for Leo, it's going to be more of a neutral placement. At the same time, Saturn is also aspecting the 11th house, which is the house of your hopes, wishes and desires. So here what is going to be happening, I told you again and again, Aries is not a zodiac sign of delay. Saturn in Aries is going to be removing the blockages here. It's up to you whether you have the capacity and tendency and potential to handle that thing or not. Saturn delays whenever it's very strong. In the Aries, it's not going to be creating further delays. It will start going to be giving result on the automatic basis. So here I will tell you hopes, wishes and desires are going to be there. But at the same time, because it's aspecting the third house, so here the amount of effort you will put, the equal amount of results you are going to be reaping out in this time frame. Because both ninth and third axis is getting properly channelized because of this placement. Even one more important thing, if you are into the field of multimedia marketing, content creation, media writing, publishing a book, or any creative pursuits, if you are into that particular fields, Saturn in Aries is also going to be instilling a strong amount of push inside you. And this push actually have the capacity to create new imaginative thoughts in your own mind. Working out of creation, creativity and imagination, that part actually have the capacity to help you to receive wonderful results into your own life. Even because of the particularly the Capricornian energy going with the sixth actually, this also have the capacity to create new conflicts actually, specifically if you are into the field of business or if you are a businessman, existing businessman I'm talking about, not starting the business. If you're an existing business person, competition is going to be becoming very ruthless here. Rather than investing the money over machinery and manpower, it's better for you to try to outsource most of the work in this case. Secondly, along with the technological advancements, it's also very, very important for you to specifically go and invest with the research and development sector. If you want to go for pursuing even the higher education, looking for PhD, masters or any other kind of a thing, Saturn in the ninth house will remove that blockage. So you eventually have the capacity to go to universities and even full time if you want to pursue any sort of education. So that is going to be greatly beneficial because of this. Next, for the Virgo ascendant and Virgo zodiac sign. For you people, Saturn transit is going to be happening through the 8th house. And this is a very, very disruptive period in front of you. Because I will tell you specifically from the 8th house, it's going to be creating a lot of spiritual awakening and spiritual transformations inside the people. Specifically for Virgo people, this 8th house Saturn actually have the capacity to create more and more awakening. This is also going to be the time frame where the old self of you is getting destroyed and new self is getting created. Many of the old people that are also going to be leaving you in this time frame, because Saturn in Aries in 8th is also going to be a pure combination of lottery winning. I've already made one video many years back actually, combination of lottery winners in Vedic astrology. Now Saturn in the 8th in Aries is that kind of a placement. This is also the good placement from receiving the inheritance, inherited and these kind of things actually. Also Saturn is aspecting your 2nd house. So this actually have the capacity to create health issues. Significant health issues in the mouth, large intestine and small intestine is going to be indicated. Operations and surgeries that are also going to be indicated because 5th house is also getting impacted whenever Saturn is in the 8th. So here it's also beneficial if you will be able to take care with regards to your health aspect more and more. Because here I will tell you health is going to be becoming true wealth for you people. You also need to understand one very important thing, Virgo people. Saturn in your horoscope is gaining control over the 5th house and 6th house. Now 5th house, Purv Sanchit Karma, past life deeds are actually going into the 8th house. 6th house Lord, the Prarabdha is also going into the 8th house. It's like that something new. It's like some flower is going to be coming from the 8th house into your own life. You can also consider it as a gift placement. Either you are receiving the gift or you are becoming a gift in this time frame. Gift towards this universe actually. You will also going to be see, if you are already a family person, already married and having a child or kids also, this period is also going to be blessing a strong growth perspective in front of the children development at the same time. Because Aries is a fast moving zodiac sign of planet Mars. Here Saturn is no longer going to be creating any such sort of restrictions into your own life. Aries is like that, automatically let me deliver the result. If the person is capable, he can handle or she can handle the result. So results are automatically going to be coming. There is no need for you to wait for the results. Delays will not going to be happening when Saturn in Aries. Delays will only happen when Saturn is becoming strengthened in, it's exalted in the Capricorn, Libra, Aquarius and this kind of a thing. Also, you need to understand one very important point. Saturn is also impacting your 10th house actually, which is the house of your career. It means practical knowledge is going to play a more significant role rather than any sort of theoretical knowledge. And if you are working in a same set of organization from past many years, or suppose you are in a same position from past 5 to 6 years working with one organization, it's better for you to make a move. Otherwise, circumstances are going to be molded in such a way where companies are going to be creating move into your own life. So it's much better for you to first of all create a move of your own. That is going to be more beneficial for you. In the comments, many of you are sending me super thanks also. Thank you for that part. Okay, I greatly appreciate that part. Okay, I initially already told you I will not be able to respond back to the comments on the immediate basis here. But thank you for your showing me the support and your contribution to this work actually. So thanks a lot for that part. Next, now let me come towards the Libra ascendant. Now for Libra, Saturn is a very favorable placement because it's a Yogakaraka Graha. Now the only difficulty with Libra ascendant or maybe Libra moon sign is that Saturn is going to be directly impacting the 10th house, because for Libra it's actually going to be creating a very deep impact into the 10th house. Because what is going to be happening here in the 7th house particularly. 7th house is the house which represents the relationships, marriage, married life aspect at the same time. Now Saturn in the Aries is going to be unfolding the karmic blockages between you and your partner in front of you. This might be connected with the 5th house of children here. And it might be connected with the 4th house of the mother at the same time. But here the karmic blockages with regards to the children, wife and mother is going to be creating main indication. And this 2.5 year or approximately 3 year transit for Libra people specifically, your major mental focus from the career will eventually going to be shifting more towards the family dynamics here. Even if you're a business person, Saturn debilitation in the 7th will also going to be creating a lot of political recognition inside you people. I have seen many successful politicians with the Saturn debilitation in their horoscopes. And the reason why this is going to be creating a more favorable placement, because 7th house is the lower level people. It's the janta, the people that are voting you, that are choosing you actually. Now what is going to be happening here, the Saturn in the Aries, the janta or the normal people is becoming more powerful here. And Saturn is again aspecting the Lagna, which is the Libra actually. And Libra is that opposite polarities that is going to be taking place in that area. And that is where I told you many new politicians are going to be coming, old politicians are going to be getting removed, specifically in this time frame. Also, if you are expecting a childbirth, Saturn will going to help you in creating a baby. Even if you are expecting some major restructure over the property and inheritance matters, so you are definitely going to be receiving the positive result over that particular area. Relationship aspect between the mother is going to be getting bit strained here. And the reason for that strained aspect here, because Capricorn is a very strict energy, okay? It's going to be teaching you a lot of new rules, foundations, and lot of restrictions around you. Wherever Saturn in the Aries is, I want to become more freedom oriented personality. So here, particularly for you people, in the quadrant, Saturn is becoming more powerful rather than any other house. So in the Aries, even if it is in the 7th house, the directional strength is going to be present inside this graha. So it's also very important for you to handle the major issues with a lot of patience inside you. It's also recommended for you to go towards the mantra sadhana. If you want to go for trekking specifically, even if you are looking for exploring the new opportunities of going into the field of spirituality, working with the field of astrology, palmistry, and occult sciences, for Libra people, this is going to be playing a very, very significant role into your own life. Also here, your 9th house is getting deeply impacted here. 9th house is your own core belief systems actually. That is where the sign of Gemini is going to be there. So there is going to be a lot of major movement, traveling and relocation. That is also going to be indicated for Libra people. Next, for the Scorpio ascendant or Scorpio moon sign, in your horoscope, Saturn transit in Aries is going to be creating the impact over the 6th house. So if you are working or doing a job in one particular area from past many time, Saturn in the 6th will going to create transformations in that area. It might be you are going to be creating a change, you yourself is looking for a change or finding a new opportunity, or within the same organization, major restructural shifts that are eventually going to be seeing or happening during this time frame. Secondly, you also need to be very, very pretty cautious with your own health aspect here. Because what is happening here, Saturn is actually aspecting the 8th house. Although this actually have the capacity to strengthen the interpersonal relationship between the husband and wife, but the core foundational issues of communication or lack of communication is going to be creating disputes between you and the family and specifically with the partner. Having an effective communication is also going to play a very, very significant role here. You also need to be very careful at the time of you going with the occult sciences. Like up to what extent I need to gain the knowledge of occult in my own life. Because what is happening, Saturn in the 6th aspecting 8th is also going to be bringing a lot of heavy karma actually into your own life. So here you also need to be very cautious and careful from where you people are gaining knowledge. Because knowledge have the capacity to create a cluttering factor in your mind. If you look now, Saturn from the 6th is already aspecting Capricorn, 3rd house. 3rd house is the mass media, social media, content creation and these kind of a thing. So you also need to be very protective from where you are actually going to be consuming the content in your own life. This is also going to be the best time frame in order for you to take some new initiatives into your own life. Like suppose you are not right now partially satisfied with your own career, with your own job or with your own self. Saturn in the 6th will going to be creating or removing all the blockages actually. So this is that time frame where from the more mental maturity standpoint of view, if you are going to be thinking in that regard, the more this is going to be beneficial in front of you people. I even recommend you people, Scorpio people, specifically opening up new businesses is also going to be indicated because 6th house is taking loan, mortgage and debt also, acquiring something. And Saturn in Aries and 6th represent that the interest rates are going to be becoming very cheaper here. Okay, although sometimes this can create a debt trap also. But if you are having some existing loans, it's better for you to finish that loans and then focus over acquiring the new loans actually. Even if you're a business person, this transit in the Aries, it's not a period of expansion and growth in front of you. This is the time frame where you need to look for more structural reform in the existing business. So the things which are not going to be working in the business, it's better to remove them and then try to install some new things in that particular area. So structural reform in the business that are also going to be taking in that particular area. Next, for the Sagittarius people, Saturn transit in the sign of Aries a Sagittarius ascendant or even Sagittarius moon sign also, once again I repeat, Saturn is going to be transiting through the 5th house with the sign of Aries. Now 5th house is naturally the house of entrepreneurship. And you people, Saturn is going to be creating a need and necessity inside your people life. Here I will tell you, doing job or finding job is not going to be creating any solution here. Although in the 5th house, Saturn will put forward a lot of excess burden here, but with the help of proper planning and execution and implementation, you will be able to handle everything. Because here Saturn in the 5th, Aries debilitated, it's gaining control over the 3rd house also. 3rd house is the house of your struggles, mental struggles, the day-to-day challenges that are going to be facing into your own life. But as soon as it's going into the 5th, it's also going to be giving you enough power, lot of potential energy inside you to overcome all the difficulties and the major challenges that you are going to be facing into your own life. So morally, I will tell you, this have the capacity to keep your morale very high. Enthusiasm wise also, this is going to be considered as a very best placement. Second important point, it's also better for you not to look for easy methods for making money. Because Saturn in the Aries in 5th will not help you with the shortcut methods to obtain wealth. Okay, here I will tell you, the more you are going to be working over the foundational level, or more you are going to be working over improving the foundation, the more this is going to be helping you into the more better picture of your own life. Even Saturn is also aspecting the 7th house. So if you are unmarried looking for marriage related opportunities, this period will eventually create the event of marriage. Even this is the same placement, I will tell you. In my personal experience, I have seen in many charts, Saturn whenever sitting in 5th and aspecting the 7th house, someone from past also have the capacity to manifest back into your own life as a partner. Because what is 5th house? This is the Purv Sanchit Karma of any person. So what is happening here? Past life deeds are going to be creating impact into the 7th house. So karmic manifestations of partners are going to be indicated in this time frame, irrespective of what age you are going to be. Because here Saturn is also aspecting the 2nd with its 10th aspect. So this is the house of family addition. So it means Saturn in the 5th aspecting your 7th, 11th and 2nd will going to create further expansion and growth into your own life. And this is going to be a pretty long lasting growth which you people are going to be witnessing into your own life. Just one thing you need to be bit cautious with this placement. Avoid going into unnecessary disputes with any other people. Okay, it's very, very careful, specifically at the time of you giving your opinion in front of other people. You need to be very, very cautious with the choice of your words which you are using during that time frame. That is going to help you a lot in that area. Even if you are looking for studies, educational aspect into the field of new technology, advancement and manufacturing sector, the boost is also going to be happening in this time frame. If you are a politician watching this video, Saturn in the 5th is also going to be creating defamation, mass defamation. So even for example, you have done a lot of good work and you just committed one mistake. So people are going to be criticizing you a lot over that one mistake rather than they are going to be appreciating your own work. And that is where I told you, the kind of words which you use during communication, you need to be very cautious with that approach. Okay. Next, for the Capricorn ascendant and for Capricorn moon sign, for you people, Saturn transit in the sign of Aries is going to be impacting your 4th house first of all. Now 4th house is the birthplace, it's your home country and it's your comfort zone at the same time. Now what is going to be happening? First of all, it's going to be breaking the comfort zone apart. So if you are pretty comfortable as of now in your life, in your business, in your career, even in your family life, Saturn in the 4th is going to be removing all the comfort area from your own life. And once this comfort zone is getting removed, the growth parameters are automatically going to be coming into your own life. because Saturn with its 10th aspect is also aspecting the Capricorn, which is the Lagna. Capricorn is you, your physical self, your mental self also. So Saturn particularly looking into the Capricornian energy is helping you to becoming more structured in your own life. Here, this is also the time frame where you need to work upon your own personality. Focus on improving your own personality and removing some of the bad habits and inculcating new habits. Specifically procrastination and delay. Because Aries is a very impulsive zodiac sign. It's better for you to make decisions rather than not to make any decisions. Because once you make decision, either you are going to be failing or you are getting succeed. But if you are not making any decision, there is no success and no failure. So making decisions are actually going to be becoming a main theme for the Capricornian people. At the same time, 4th house, I told you, it's your birthplace, home country. Whenever debilitated planets coming into the 4th house, actually, it may be Sun, Saturn, any other, or malefics impacting the 4th house, this eventually have the capacity to create permanent movement, permanent relocation into some different foreign land and foreign country. If you are into some foreign land and foreign countries, then movement into some new foreign land and foreign country is also going to be indicated because of this placement. Many a time, this placement also have the capacity to create event of relocation because of the family, because of your wife and because of your children. But it will going to remove that comfort zone away from your own life. This is also going to be the time frame where Saturn is going to be directly impacting the 6th house, which is the house of loan, taking mortgage, acquiring debt from the market. 4th house is also the house which have to deal with the land, real estate and property related matters. So there are going to be major changes that are going to be happening in the 4th house. It means restructuring of the assets, selling of previous properties and buying a new properties. That is also going to be purely indicated in that time frame. You also need to understand one very important point here. Saturn is also impacting the Libra, which is actually going to be sitting in the 10th house. So what is going to be happening here? The work-life balance is going to be becoming strongly disruptive because of that time frame. And then this have the capacity to create a difficulty in having a good marital bliss or interpersonal relationship between you and your partner actually. So disputes are going to be around the corner is because of your own comfort zone. As soon as you are going to be leaving the comfort zone and you are becoming more independent, the more blessings that are actually going to be automatically flowing into your own life. Because I will tell you, whenever Saturn aspecting Lagna is you. Here I will tell you, rather than looking for solutions outside, it's much better for you to try to look for the solutions more into the inside manner. So looking for solutions inside is going to be becoming more beneficial for you people rather than looking for solutions outside. Here I even recommend you to try to be very cautious at the time of driving any car and automobile. Why I'm saying so? Because Lagna is Lord is getting debilitated. Lagna is this portion, it's the head portion basically. In the 4th house, it's the Mangal, Mars actually. Mars Urja actually have the capacity to create impact over the head portion of the native. So at the time of driving a car, automobile or any such kind of a thing, you need to be extra cautious. Thank you Star Destiny for sending me wonderful stickers here. It's a monkey, glass of water and many other things. Thumbs up, blessings also. Lenny Speed, thank you so much. He passed Taurus and discussing Capricorn now. Yes, definitely. Thank you for keep on joining till this time frame also. It's more than an hour I'm filming this online session and many people have now joined. It's like more and more people. Still it's a night time in India at the time I'm filming this video, but still there are going to be many people that are still awake during that time frame. So thank you for that part. Thank you for sending me blessings, super thanks and everything. Okay. Now let me come back to the Capricorn also. Specifically, thank you once again for sending me super thanks. Okay. Shade, balance. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you for your dedication. Okay. Now let me come back. For Capricorn people, Saturn is also gaining control over the 2nd house here. And second house lord, particularly going into the fourth house, is also going to be creating some disputes inside your own family. Specifically, if you are going to be involved in a family business with this kind of a placement, so this placement eventually have the capacity to help you to go out of one business of the family and then establishing some business of your own. That part is going to be strongly indicated because of this particular placement. Next, now let me move on towards the Aquarius ascendant and even Aquarius moon sign. Now for you people, first of all, Saturn is your Lagna Lord going into the third. Lagna Lord going in the third purely represent your life is going towards struggle. But at the same time, Lagna Lord going in the third debilitated is also going to give you enough willpower, courage and enthusiasm inside you to tackle and overcome all the difficulties that are going to be facing by you. This placement of the Saturn for Aquarius people, Aquarius moon sign also, actually have the capacity to destroy all your enemies. Even many of the hidden enemies that are also going to be coming into the picture. Suppose there are many trustworthiness people whom you are going to be trusting thoroughly and wholeheartedly, I will tell you. This placement actually have the capacity to bring many new enemies in front of you, where you will be able to recognize like who is going to be becoming my true friend, who is going to be becoming my enemy here. At the same time, Saturn is also gaining control over the 12th house. Now 12th house is the foreign travel and foreign settlement. Even making money in the multiple currencies is also going to be indicated from the 12th. Now what is going to be happening here? Your 12th house Lord is becoming Saturn, which is impacting the third house. This actually have the capacity to help you to gain recognition outside of your home country. It's also much better for you to start rendering your work outside of your home country rather than just focusing over one particular aspect and one particular area of your own life. Okay. Apart from this thing, Saturn is also creating the impact over the fifth house, gaining further education in the field of technological advancements is also going to be beneficial. Even this placement of the Saturn is also going to be creating progeny. So basically for Aquarius people, if you are looking for a childbirth in your own life and you have tried hard again and again and no results are going to be coming, Saturn in Aries will eventually going to remove the blockage. So once that blockage is getting removed, this have the capacity to help you to receive good result into your own life. At the same time, Saturn is also impacting the 9th house, which is the house of your own belief system. This is a very pretty challenging placement because here what is going to be happening, some of your old belief systems, they are not going to be matching with the new belief systems. And that is where destroying the old self of your and creating a new self of your is eventually going to be helping you a lot, specifically in this time frame. One recommendation I would like to give you people, specifically Saturn in the Aries, rather than focusing and working over that particular areas which are not working for you, it's much better for you to work over the core strength. Don't work over your weakness. Because Saturn in Aries will not help you to overcome your weakness. If you are working more over your weakness, you are not working over your positive factor, it will automatically going to create a lot of delays into your own life. So working over your own strength, recognizing your own strength is going to be more beneficial during that time frame. I even request you not to look for any shortcut methods in this time frame for making money, specifically through speculation and speculative gains. Because Saturn in the third house is again a Upachya house in Vedic astrology. Saturn, whenever transiting through the Upachya houses, this period is going to be known as the period of structural reform inside the person's life. You can also call it as a foundational period. So here you need to be more focusing over working from the basic foundation. Okay, working over the basic foundation, basically working over the grassroots actually. So if you are working over building a strong foundation, this will eventually going to help you a lot in building a very strong tomorrow. I speak 4 languages. I consider you one of the best astrologer I know. Thank you so much. It's Gladius and Seps. Thank you everyone for sending me your love, your beautiful stickers, also popcorn. It's very good. Very soon I'm going to be doing many new live sessions also, because in this way I will be able to interact with my core audience, with my top fans also. So I'm going to be planning some new things for specifically for all of you. So we'll keep it as a surprise as of now, and we'll continue over this transit part. But I will keep that point in my mind, okay? Lastly, let me go towards the Pisces ascendant and Pisces moon zodiac sign. For you people, Saturn transit in the Aries from June 2027 till November 2029. It's actually going to be transiting through the second house. And that is where this placement is going to be helping you to go one step higher in the hierarchy level. This is also the placement that have the capacity to break generational curses. So in your own family, suppose every person is doing a job, 9 to 5 mundane job. You are going to be the first one who is going to be taking a first leap into the business. Because specifically for Pisces, Saturn is gaining control over the 11th house of incoming gain, which is sitting in the second house of your savings also. So this contributes to a very strong, very powerful Lakshmi Raj Yoga. And then this Lakshmi Raj Yoga is also going to be impacting the 12th house of investments at the same time. So this is eventually going to be a strong money minting period in front of Pisces people. One thing you just need to be cautious is with your 4th house. And 4th house is your own family actually. 4th house is also the comfort zone of the person which you are going to be building around you. Now, if you are becoming more comfortable while your Saturn is in Aries sign, it's then going to be becoming more difficult for you to exploring the new avenues into your own life. Because understand one thing here, Saturn in Aries is going to be creating impact over the 2 zodiac signs of Gemini and Libra, and they both are wind, air zodiac sign. Air represent movement and flexibility. So rather than working with more rigid approach, the more amount of flexibility that is going to be present inside you, the more this is going to be beneficial for you. Here you also need to be seeing here, Saturn is also going to be creating impact over the 8th house. So this will eventually going to be creating a lot of interest into the field of Vedic astrology. If you are a Pisces ascendant or Pisces moon sign and you are practicing Vedic astrology and now you want to go full-fledged into the field of Vedic astrology by becoming a Vedic astrologer, Saturn transit in Aries will eventually going to be giving you that opportunity. It's better for you to focus working over strengthening the glass roots actually, because this placement will also going to help you to attract money by dealing with occult matters. Anything related to healing industry is also going to be helping you a lot in your own life. Also Saturn here, if you look, is also going to be creating direct impact over the Capricornian energy, which is your hopes, wishes and desires. So in the Aries, in the fast moving zodiac sign, which is ruled by Mars, Saturn actually have the capacity to fulfill all your hopes, wishes and desires at once. But here you also need to be understand one thing, having a more vision orientedness or goal orientedness for the upcoming future, that is going to help you a lot in that particular area. It's like that delayed procrastination. Rather than seeking results on the immediate basis, it's better for you to wait patiently for the results into your own life. Even one more important point, you need to be very concise and very precise with your decision making. Like there is no any second thought which you can keep because of Saturn Aries. It's like that once you make a decision, it's very difficult to going back. Even irrespective after making decision, suppose you become failed or you become succeed, but there is no going back pathway which is going to be indicated. I will tell you, the same amount of force which is exerted by retrograde energy the same amount of force is going to be exerted by Saturn debilitation also. There is not going to be any major difference in that area. Retrogression is also going to be considered as a very strong force. In the similar manner, Aries Saturn, although it's debilitated, but it's an extreme end Saturn. So Saturn in Aries actually have the capacity to give the extreme end results for you people. Like either the results are going to be totally positive or they are going to be extremely negative. So there is no any intermediary pathway which you are going to be seeing because of this Saturn. So it's also very better for you to be very concise and very precise when it comes to making actions and decisions into your own life. Okay. So this is the video for all the 12 ascendants, 12 moon signs, and thank you for joining with me. It's my pleasure to be here with you, every one of you. Garg Rishi would be proud of you. Yes, definitely I born in the family of Sage Garg. So there are very divine blessings of Garg Rishi also upon me. The blood which is flowing inside my genes are also coming from the lineage of astrologers. So that genes eventually genetically impact is also going to be there. And also the blessings of Jagannath Ji, Lord Vishnu, even Lord Shiva is with me. I even in the end pray to every one of you, whosoever going to be witnessing Saturn transit in the Aries, specifically Gen Z people. I pray to Supreme Energy which is present above us all for the betterment of mankind also, because people have seen lot of turmoil in the Saturn in the Pisces. Right now we are also going through a turmoil period, but I request you to be very patient. Okay, have patience. Wait till the Saturn enter into Aries. It will going to open all the floodgates. No one will going to be complain like results are not coming. In the Pisces, yes, definitely it's a very destructive sign. But Aries is it's a like quick judgment. Quickly I'm going to be giving the results. Okay, so that part is going to be there in that. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for your patience and everything. And we are going to be meeting very, very soon. Now give me permission. Thank you for all your kind support, sending me good stickers, your super thanks, your time, your patience, everything for listening to me and trusting Cooking Astrology. For any personal consultations, you know where to reach out. You can reach out to my email ID, which I mentioned in the description section. It's 8nikhilgarg8@gmail.com. So you can contact me regarding any detailed personalized readings. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So till then, please take care, and everyone take care of yourself, and Hare Krishna. Okay.